the current mice industry in Australia is fairly robust, both domestically within Australia and in relation to outbound mice. So Australia's economy is still doing reasonably well. Unemployment rates are still quite low. So businesses are doing pretty well, and so as a result of that, the appetite for outbound mice is still quite strong. Particularly in relation to Thailand, we've seen a little bit of an uplift over the last 12 months, and our focus now, or TCEB's focus, is to really increase that significantly over the next 3 or so years. In regards to industries that are sending their conference or their incentive groups offshore, so finance, medical and pharmaceutical are still very prominent. Cars and motor vehicles. Where we're seeing a bit of a shift is in direct selling, of course, out of most Western countries and Asian. That's a new source market for Australia, or a new industry, and one that's really growing quite quickly. In addition to that, we're seeing a lot of conference business coming out of the franchise area. So franchise obviously crossing over multiple industries, but really being about a business model, and we're seeing more and more franchise organisations moving into Australia, and then those organisations having an annual conference for their franchisees, and Thailand is a particularly popular destination, or Southeast Asia in general, for that style of group. So you're up against Vietnam for incentive groups, traditional destinations such as Singapore and Hong Kong. I'm going to give you more than 3. Malaysia still comes into play as a conference destination, a competitor conference destination. And then Australians are also looking a little further afield, not quite fully long haul, but certainly Hawaii has been very prominent for conference groups over the last couple of years. And South Africa is also one that comes into the mix fairly regularly for very high-end incentive groups looking for a new destination. So Koh Samui continues to come up, and in fact enjoys a small but fairly steady source of business out of Australia. Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai are also coming into the fore. So Chiang Mai is one that comes up and is quoted on fairly regularly. They do secure some business out of Australia, but that's probably out of those 2 key destinations, being Bangkok and Phuket, Chiang Mai would be the next one that is probably receiving the most interest. We're on the way up, yes, yeah. So Thailand is definitely on the way up for Australia. So I think we've come out of, the GFC, which was impacting all destinations. We've come out of some of the security concerns. There have been, a few, cultural circumstances within Thailand that may have been a little bit of a dissuading factor for business over the last 12 months. But certainly the interest is there, and probably more importantly, the focus is now there on driving that mice market within Australia, and as a result of that, we're seeing the number of RFPs increasing, and we would expect that conversion to follow. Look, it's the value proposition, and by value I don't mean low prices. By value I mean being able to address what the client or what the meeting planner wants for their event, and being able to deliver on that to a very high level. And that might be experience-based, that might be price. There is a number of different factors, but it is all about the value, and Thailand is seen as a great value destination, both from a cost perspective and in regards to the types of experiences that are available.
TICA, the Thailand Incentive and Convention Association. Event planning in Thailand starts here.